We're rolling.
One of us was.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it.
She was welcome, but I can't believe it's true.
Yeah, right. That's what it was called.
That was your radio show?
I can't believe it's not true.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. I can't believe it's not true?
Yeah.
Like, would you talk about, mythical things?
I have no
like
idea.
unicorns? Did you talk about unicorns?
Honestly, I didn't talk about much of anything.
But
I did go on a women's rights rampage.
But it was all, hypothetical stuff
I guess.
that you couldn't believe wasn't true.
Right.
That's such an interesting way to approach the show. I like it. It could be, I can't believe it's true, but no. I can't believe it's not true.
Because it should be true.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Okay. Well, this is Nerdbuzzed.
Yes.
We're going to talk about nerdy stuff. And we're going to drink a brew. So, and really, I think Kristen's here because we're going to talk about Ant-Man and Wasp. Let's put it up there so people know.
Yep.
Can do it because Jack's not here.
Where's Jack?
Boom, there it is. So we're going to talk about Ant-Man and Wasp because we all went and saw it.
There's a line across
Before
your face.
that, we should talk about our brew, which I think is really the only reason Kristen's here with us.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that that's what we're doing. But okay.
Right? How could you not, though? We saw it at the store right before Ant-Man.
Right.
Right? So this also got to sit in our warm car for the whole duration of Ant-Man and Wasp. And, then we re-chilled it, which I think is probably the best way to handle Zima. So what are we drinking, Jay? Tell us all about it.
Limited edition.
Limited edition Zima.
No, limited release. There's no limited edition. This is
limited release Zima. Apparently it's the original edition.
Yeah, it's just limited. I think a stock boy found it, blew the dust off an old case of it somewhere.
Oh my god. Like Crystal Pepsi?
Yeah, right.
It's Zima. If you're, as Kristen said, a 90s kid, you would know what this is.
A 90s kid, I like that. But yes, that's also true, yeah.
I think we needed apple pucker. Wasn't that the drink of the day? Zima and apple pucker? Or just Zima and pucker, period?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just know that you could get girls at a party to drink Zima.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you could.
Yeah. So what's the potency? Where's it made? Do you know all these facts?
I do not know where it's made.
This is really classy.
It tells us right there. Oh, nice. We must use the opener. We decided, because this is our Nerdbuzzed
Even the bottle
stupid
feels
Mystic
like nothing
Forest.
but class.
Right? Doesn't it? With its,
texture.
what would you
yeah,
say?
cut glass.
Yeah. Every time we use this, an alcoholic gets their wings.
I thought that was the scepter.
No, that was this.
Was it that?
Because it's with our podcasting nerdiness combined.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
It's our combined energies.
Oh.
That's how powerful we are.
You guys are so
Which we already
cool
discussed
and
means we kill an
powerful.
alcoholic, which is also probably okay with a lot of people.
Oh.
Well, it means they have to die.
I know, on one of these episodes, it's going to kill one of us.
Sweet.
No, we'll die and then wings will come out.
Oh my god.
Sail away. So, to all the nerds and all the children of the 90s, through all the fuzz, bottoms up, let's get Nerdbuzzed.
It's a refreshing citrus beverage.
It tastes like tonic water.
Yeah, kind of.
With a squeeze of lime.
Yeah.
It definitely has sweetness to it, right?
Yeah.
Is tonic, is that the one with the sugar in it too?
Yeah, it's a little sweet, but it's bitter.
Yeah. And it kind of has like a wine sort of taste to it, like a wine cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly probably what it is.
Is that what you call it? A wine
Yeah.
cooler, basically, I guess?
Probably.
It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you.
No.
It's really easy to drink.
It's a refreshing citrus beverage. That's what it is.
With 5% alcohol.
With 5% alcohol.
Which is
Same as
more than, cheap beer?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
more
about-
than like
about
a
what
Bud
you-
Light, or is that about that?
No, yeah, 3.5 is what most of cheap beers are.
Yeah. So it's a little classier than that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's
You said
really classy.
You're saying it's classier because it has more alcohol?
Yeah.
That's your determination of class?
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, that and obviously the corrugated bottle that it has here, or whatever you would call that.
I'd say cut,
The grooves.
cut glass.
I think it's really classy when you drink it like this.
So
a
we're
weird
going to
aftertaste.
enjoy these.
I almost thought we should have saved this till Captain Marvel, because that takes place in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right? This would have been very appropriate for that. But that would take so much restraint to keep this. I don't think this would have lasted in my beer fridge. I would have drank it right away. So we had to drink it now.
I see.
Yeah, it's that good. So before we totally dive in to completely ruining Ant-Man and Wasp for everybody,
Yes.
do we want to do the first impression thing?
Yes.
So let's, ladies first.
What am I doing?
You're gonna talk into your microphone and tell people what you thought of Ant-Man and Wasp without ruining it. Don't spoil anything. Good, bad. Should people see it?
I thought it was cute.
Is it
You
worth
said
seeing
just like
in theater?
a short...
That's very short.
Oh. It was cute. It was worth seeing in theater, I think. If you liked the first one, I think you'll like this one.
Yeah, I think if you like Marvel movies,
Yeah.
it's very much in that of the same formula as the Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that it's lighter in tone than what Marvel's been putting out lately,
Yeah.
which I thought was a nice. It is just kind of this nice breath of fresh air. It's not so heavy-handed.
Well, I think the studio actually acknowledged that that's why it was released in this order. Was for that, because of how heavy and hard the ending of Infinity Wars was. So,
I think overall, it's good. It's not groundbreaking. It's not like super amazing. It's easy to watch. I thought the pacing was pretty good. We both kind of agreed that about that when we left the theater. We never felt like anything really dragged on really through any of it. I think overall it was pretty good. Pretty good.
yeah, I enjoyed it. There's a few things that were shortcomings to me, but because never mind.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got where you were going with that.
Yeah, anyway, but there's a few things that I thought it lacked on, but overall, I was glad I saw it. I would not recommend going to the Dolby premiere for it.
The $20 movie ticket.
Yeah.
I would also agree. Don't do that.
No, it's great it's definitely worth seeing in theater in the big screen.
I don't
But
think you
it doesn't
need 3D either.
Yeah, no, it doesn't need to be the big 3D, the big over the top stuff. I mean, it's I don't think it was shot well for as far as that stuff goes.
No, but I would say that the green screen in it was done pretty well.
Yes.
I was pleased with that. I was a little bit worried with in the trailers they definitely talk about quantum realm stuff, right? And we saw that in the first one. And you got a little taste of that, and I was afraid there was going to be a ton of that in it, and it was going to be that Wakanda abrasive CGI stuff, but it really wasn't. I thought it was actually done very tastefully well in it. Even the ghost character she was done really well. It didn't look super CGI.
I think as far as quantum realm stuff goes, that was the best representation.
The most bestest?
I was
the-
correcting myself. Thank you.
This is like Jack when Jack's here. It's a good thing I'm between you.
Yeah.
All right, it's good. I think people should see it. It's totally worth seeing. It's fun, easy movie to watch. Should we dive into it? Let's dive in.
Yeah.
Let's really dive in, because I know Jay has some beef. I want to hear it. We got beef too. We talked about beef after the movie.
My biggest problem is the quantum realm stuff is the focus of the movie.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, that's like the main thing that they're doing. And I think the quantum realm itself was just kind of treated poorly. Overall.
Like, what would you wanted more of?
I don't know. I think they did a better job of what it would be with the Doctor Strange stuff. The world's bending in on themselves and things changing that way. There's no existence that's a single existence.
Yeah.
I mean that's what quantum realm would be. There would be no single existence. You know, and
are they different though? Because didn't Doctor Strange, wasn't it multiple realms, or was it only the quantum realm?
Doctor Strange wasn't the quantum realm. Doctor Strange was the
I know they touch on it though. They talk about it, right?
Yeah.
How there's different realms in there, and quantum realm is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the quantum realm though is being what it is it exists everywhere simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what it is. And I think the ghost thing was probably the best representation of that. It was a shifting, phasing. It was always, you know, that was the best representation. And the realm itself just, I don't know, it seemed kind of, it looked like a nebula from Star Trek.
Yeah, I could totally see that. It did look like basically what it did in the first Ant-Man, though.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But he didn't also, like, go, he was still diving deeper as he was going.
Yes.
So I don't know.
I learned an interesting thing about the quantum realm. It
Did you?
is, in the comics, it's called the microverse, not the quantum realm, right?
Okay.
But they can't use the phrase microverse because it's tied to Hasbro because of the micronauts.
Oh.
Marvel purchased the original action figures from and the Hasbro stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And then they spun it into comic books, which was like a common thing, right? Like that's how He-Man happened and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the toys spawned the comic book series, and Marvel had all these rights to it, and they made the Micronauts. They turned them in. They weren't Micronauts originally. That's just what Marvel called them. Gave them a background story to the Microverse. But because Hasbro owns them now, they lost their license. They have to call it the Quantum Realm
Gotcha.
instead.
Okay.
And actually, Hasbro is making a Micronauts movie. So, which is kind of funny, too. Like, there's crossover comics between Micronauts and, like, a bunch of other superheroes, like X-Men,
See,
and
that makes
Fantastic
more
Four,
sense
and
being-
whatever. Yeah.
Being that.
I thought that was pretty funny, though. That will just, it's like calling the, they can't call them mutants, they call them the enhanced.
Yeah.
Right, it's that same kind of thing.
Yep.
I thought that was an interesting fact.
Well, that
I
makes more sense and makes it a little better.
Yeah, does it?
Well, if just knowing that that's what it is,
Yeah.
but still calling it the quantum realm and based on what obviously little I know about it because I don't jack crap about it.
Yeah, I didn't really know anything about it either.
But from what I understand of quantum stuff is the fact that everything is done simultaneously. It both exists and doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I just don't think they got that across in the universe itself.
Like in the visual representation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And how do you visually represent it? I don't know. I think they could have done better.
Almost more, maybe more like the Ghost.
Yeah.
Like you would have had more tracery people in
Yeah,
the realm
exactly.
and like whatever. Right?
Everything would
Seeing
be-
yourself
Yeah.
doing different things in the realm, right?
I think that the Last Jedi did it better with the Rey scene.
Yeah. I could see that.
You know,
That was basically a quantum realm.
I don't know about that, but I think that would
Oh yeah,
have
we'll
been
call it that.
I think that
Which
I
was
think-
Disney. Like,
I-
come
yeah.
on, Disney.
but I think that would have been a better representation,
Yeah.
personally. You know, something like that.
I didn't have a whole lot of beef with the quantum realm itself. It was the most CGI'd part of the movie, for sure.
Yeah.
Very,
For as much as it was hyped, I don't think it was done well. I mean,
Yeah.
I did like the water bear scene though.
the what?
The when he gets stuck partway and it has to recalculate.
Little creature.
Oh,
that was-
yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious was the they're using GPS for the quantum realm and it's like recalculating.
Yeah. You think it'd always be doing that?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The
Cur-
indefinite recalculating.
But the whole it's something that we face every single day out in our real lives, and they brought it into that for that.
Yeah.
As advanced as they are, they still can't get the GPS to work right.
I didn't have a huge beef with the quantum realm itself. I guess. I mean, that was okay. It wasn't like it was definitely talked about a lot in the movie, and it was a real strong part of the story. But they weren't really there a lot.
I know, and that's something that was another thing that bugged me too.
Yeah. Well, it's so risky, right? Like at the end of the first movie, Scott got thrown in there and just happened to get himself out, right? Like, and they all thought he was gone for good the instant he went in there. So I could see where it's like this taboo thing. They're just getting the hang of going in and out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's still they're still real unsure about it in this movie. So maybe that's why we don't see it too much.
Maybe.
Right? I think for me one of the biggest issues I had with the movie was
What
supporting
do you got to
cast.
say?
Huh? I don't have anything to say.
Oh, you have something. You were
No, I was waiting to see
She's
what
got that
his...
smirk.
you were very
what
intent there.
his- Well, I didn't really care about the quantum realm.
I think this.
It didn't stand out to her.
I think the supporting cast was great, with the exception of the FBI director dude.
Oh, you didn't like him?
I did not
He was
like it.
kind of like the sister in Wakanda.
Yeah,
I got that weird, like, it broke the flow of the movie, but it was kind of campy and funny. I kind of liked him. I thought him and Scott bantered well.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
He's just good at bantering well. Scott is, right?
Yes.
Like, that's just what he does.
Yeah.
I thought that the...
Whoa, Cap! Can I call you Cap?
Yeah. I think that there were a lot of kind of like weird character issues that went on in the movie. One of them sure was Ghost. I didn't really understand. I didn't understand why she just didn't go to Hope and Hank and be like, "Hey, I've got these issues with these things, and you guys are the experts on it. Could you help me out? Because clearly I'm suffering." Right? As opposed to just trying to go in and steal all their stuff.
Other than the fact that it kind of shows that she was raised by, what was his name?
I guess she was super jaded, right?
Yeah, but she was raised by him, and he obviously had major problems with him.
Yeah, well, and they did make her an assassin and make her
Yeah.
kill people, and so I get why that's her go-to,
Yeah.
right, is to be an ass. But she could have just asked him instead of being so aggressive with it. And I also thought that Hope and Hank, they really came across in this movie as just kind of dicks. They're
Yeah.
not nice people at
No,
all.
they're
They're
not.
so self-absorbed and selfish. They don't even care.
That was something that was pointed out through the whole of the movie, though, and it was like they went extra steps to make sure that was pointed out.
Yeah, and but still, Scott's like in love with Hope and wants
Well,
to
of
be.
course he is.
Dude, that is like the weirdest, and that's gonna be the worst road for him to go down. Right? She's gonna be the biggest headache to date that chick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, she's crazy.
totally. So selfish. Like every scene when they were like, they'd give Scott such a hard time because he has to leave because he's on house arrest and he could go to jail, to prison for 20 years, never see his family. Hope and Hank's whole motivation is to get their family back together. You'd think they'd sympathize with that angle a little bit, but every time he's got to go, they always look at him and they're just like, "Whatever, Scott, flake out again. If we don't make it, it's all your fault because you ditched us." It's like the biggest guilt trip in the world.
Uh-huh.
It's like they suck so bad. They never once say, "I'm sorry," or like, "Yeah, why don't we try to plan this out so we all benefit from it?" They're so selfish. I really, by the end of that movie, I thought, I don't like them. They
No.
suck so bad. They were terrible. But I did really like Hope as when she was the Wasp. She was awesome.
Yeah. Oh no, she played that character well as far as the acting there.
Yeah, and the action scenes with her as the Wasp were great. I really liked them. I thought she utilized the making things bigger and smaller super well. All her action and fight scenes were really, really good. It definitely helped balance it for Scott's horrible action scenes.
Yes, he's definitely more bumbling, but he does well when he needs to.
Do you think that in the next one they will figure his suit out, or is this just going to be a running theme for him? He's going to always have suit issues.
Well, he's got the one suit that works, but they had to tear it down to use it as a tracker.
Yeah. Well, and even that one, but it didn't have the... I guess it had to get big, right? Because
Yeah.
he used it in Civil War.
Yeah, he said something I've been working on.
Yeah. And now he's got the adjuster,
Yeah.
whatever, the adjust kind of. It basically has 3 settings. Really teeny, really big, or 3 feet tall.
Yeah, and he went huge.
Yeah. Bigger than Civil War, you think?
Yeah. Dude, to be as tall out of the water as he was there and only from here up,
Yeah.
yeah, he was huge.
That was pretty cool. And I like how it just exhausts him instantly.
Yes.
No.
How long did you sleep? I slept for 3 days.
Mhm.
Yeah, you gotta think that's probably pretty accurate, though.
That you would...
Just to be shrinking and growing like that, it has to be super exhausting, period.
Yes. I have issues with the movie as far as shrinking and growing things, too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I still say, if you shrunk a whole building down, like, me and Kristen were talking about this. She made a good point.
Why is
I
everything
thought,
not getting jostled around and shit?
Yeah, why wouldn't it get all thrown around in there?
That's
Like,
what-
the instant you start wheeling it around. And Kristen's like, why wouldn't it just get thrown around the instant it shrank? Right? Like, you're just immediately... It throws everything around the building around
Yeah.
with nothing on the inside. It's got to be like magnetic or bolted down really well or something.
The ants are really well trained.
The ants are all in there holding everything down. That
Yeah.
must be
Poor
what it
little
is too.
ants.
And the other thing I wanted to know was, why does the building have to be big for them to be working in it?
It isn't all the time. They had a scene where it was small when they were still working in it.
What scene?
What was it? They were, I'm pretty sure they were working in it when the ghost was in there and it was still small.
I don't think so.
I'd have to see it again now.
Yeah, I think it was big every time. That was a real point they made. They'd always shrink it and run around with it. But they could, like, get in their cars and shrink their cars and be shrunk inside the car, right?
Yeah.
It would shrink them both. I kept thinking, why don't you take the building, you can go put it somewhere, right? Shrink everybody down, go inside it, and hide out. It'd be so much harder to find you.
I did like the shrunk cars, though.
Oh, yeah.
Totally just...
Sound like little RC cars.
Yeah.
And I loved how stereotypical it was for the Mexican guy
He
to
picks
get
up-
the little, right? That was awesome.
With the freaking exhaust that comes up the side.
Yeah. It is Hyundai.
It was hilarious.
That was pretty good.
Oh, Hank, you're awesome. He's badass.
And in the movie,
Which I think he's a great supporting character.
Yes.
I forget what his name is.
I don't
Louise.
Louise, is that what it was? Yes. It was
Isn't
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Louis. I don't remember. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making that up.
No, I think that's right. Louise. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't Louis, it was Louise. Is that right?
Louise.
Louise.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's not Louise.
That's my answer.
He was great. I like that he doesn't need truth serum ever.
Yeah.
He just is truth serum, right? He'll just go on and on.
Oh, so it's like truth serum. Truth serum doesn't exist. Oh, yeah, but it, like, does this and then...
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
What's the other thing I was going to say?
My biggest conflict with
Do it. Let's hear
the
it.
movie was
Having to
the
see it with me.
oh my god, the fact that they were constantly searching for conflict. That's all the movie was. They like all of like the things
Yeah,
that
they were desperate for that.
Yeah, they were really like all the things that were conflict could have been so not.
Like,
If that-
give us
like-
an example.
Like the ghost.
Okay.
You said she was raised by what's his name who hated him. Whatever. Is that the one that she
The-
lived with or the
yeah,
one before?
The black dude.
Okay, well he didn't have a conflict with him. I mean he did, but he didn't. He was just like, "Oh, whatever, I don't like you."
He was
Okay.
fired and discredited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, like when he showed up, when Hank showed up or whatever his name is, they didn't seem to have too much of an issue. He canceled his class, but he talked to him, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that really ultimately to me not conflict, but it took up how much of the story. And then what was the other conflict?
The ghost. That
Ghost.
was a big one, too.
Well, but that could have been solved through that. Like that
Yeah.
wouldn't have been an issue. The duder trying to steal it to make tons of money. That was. I mean, I liked that actor from different shows, but that was kind of pointless and not well utilized. It just was a pop in to waste time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
the ankle monitor or the FBI, like that was a pop in to waste time. Like all of the conflict throughout the movie wasn't really conflict.
I don't know. I think the ankle monitor one is probably the most legitimate.
Yeah, well, exactly. But they kind of blew past that and ignored it for the most part.
Yeah, I think so much of the conflict in this movie wouldn't have been there if Hank and Hope weren't such assholes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right? If they would have just, for just 5 minutes, considered how everybody might be able to benefit from the scenario instead of just them, I would not get along with them. They would drive me nuts so much. I'd be like, yeah, Scott, you can totally date her. Just take her away on a date, please. Maybe
She
now
better
she'll
be
calm
happy
down.
when she comes back.
Yeah. Like, now maybe she'll calm down. Her mom's back, right? That's everything.
Well, kind of.
No, she's back. She's not back?
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah. Spoiler for the very end of the movie. Yeah, which I totally predicted.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. I give
You
myself
totally
one
did.
of these for that. I knew that was going to happen. So I have questions about that, too. So if Michelle Pfeiffer is in the quantum realm and she gets stuck there and she comes back now with new powers, right?
Well, she's been absorbing quantum energy the whole time.
Yeah, well, now that's what Scott's doing.
Yeah.
So do you think he'll come back
Yeah.
with new powers?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like he might just get himself out of there, and that could potentially impact what's going on in Avengers 4?
I'm not sure how he's going to come out. We all know he's going to come out, though.
Oh, yeah, it has to.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got another movie to do.
Yeah, because he's in the next Avengers 4.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, he's got another movie after that, I think.
Another Ant-Man?
I don't know. I think he's got a 5-movie deal or something like that. Which means there's one more after Infinity War.
Yeah, because he's got his 2, Civil War, and then the second Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wasn't in the first one at all.
Yeah, no.
Not even a little short cameo or anything.
Mm-mm.
I did really like how this movie really establishes that this is taking place at the same time that all that's going on, but that didn't feel really heavy-handedly done. Like, I liked that it was kind of that end credit scene that really locks them together, but it still kind of leaves the movie to be its own thing. You don't need to watch it.
It shows how much there can be conflict in other parts of the world and you not be aware of it.
Yeah, totally.
You know, so
it almost had more of like a.
And be granted, I mean, the whole Infinity War thing that happened like in a very, very short time.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, there goes the giant donut, and the next day they're fighting it, and everybody dusts.
Yeah. Well, because then even the scene after that, the next end credit one, which is just the ant playing the drums or whatever, right? But even there, when they did that one, as it panned through the TV, it was like that, you know, this is a whatever warning channel, like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The one that they just always do the test and it's never real.
Yeah.
But it's real, right? And it's on the
Exactly.
TV. I thought that was actually kind of cool in that scene, too, where it's like, the world knows now that, yes, there's a big S-storm happening.
Yeah, and the ant that's programmed to do his daily routine is still doing his daily routine.
Yeah. I liked it, too. Whenever Hagen looked at his phone, he's like, what are you, 13? That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you think Hank and I'm already forgetting who Michelle
he's-
Pfeiffer's name was?
Oh,
Mom.
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah.
I guess they're not going to be new heroes, huh? Because they're dusted. They also dusted, so they probably won't be in anything either.
well, not until it's rectified.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange dusted. Is that right?
Yes, the only because that was Thanos' world, and the only ones that survived Thanos' world were Tony and Rocket.
Yeah, Tony, Rocket, and then the original guys. Captain survived. Black Widow survived. It was like the original guys all over again.
Yeah.
Hulk is there, right? I think he was there.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how Scott will find them, is in the quantum realm. He'll be the one that finds them.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I wonder.
Well, I say time and existence has no meaning in the quantum realm. If it's the quantum realm,
Yeah.
or is it the microverse?
No, I just think microverse, everything's small.
Yeah.
The quantum realm, it sounds more substantial.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the world that exists between the molecules of our world. Right? And it's like super teeny, but at the same time infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Micro quantum.
Micro quantum, huh?
Yeah.
This is just a quantum event in the
It's endless but teeny.
Sounds like an oxymoron to me.
I'm trying to catch up on my Zima.
Well, I haven't even started this one yet. I opened it.
Yeah. It is not as good the more you drink.
No.
And the
You gotta
warmer
drink
it
it cold.
gets.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not super amazing.
No, I can see why it was always with apple pucker or other puckers.
Something to give it a little more
Kick.
substance of something.
Yeah.
Oh, to bump up the potency.
I don't know if to bump up the potency or not, just to give it more.
Do you think if you were Ant-Man and you could make a really big Zima, do you think that it displaces the alcohol content of it? Like, is it still 5% or does it like lower it? Can you get more people drunk if you make it big?
I think it would be proportionate. Yes.
I'd wondered that too. Like, if you make something big, we just like we expand.
So if I turn my keg can into a keg,
Yeah. Do you have to drink the whole keg now to get drunk, or does the alcohol content of it?
I'm pretty sure the percentages all stay the same.
They stay the same.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd wondered that. Like when she throws the Pez candy,
Although,
and she makes it big. Like if it still had Pez candy in it, could you feed a bunch of people with that?
of course.
Yeah, with the Pez on it would have been giant as well.
So it just like blows all your molecules up, but you have the same number of them.
If you shrink, your liver doesn't stay big. All of you shrinks.
Yeah, but you're like, but when he shrinks into the ant, he's more dense, right?
Yes.
Which is why he can do the massive punches. So you think
it concentrates
if he got bigger and bigger and bigger, he'd get like squishier and softer,
Yes,
and
right,
the molecules would move and around and whatever. That's what I mean. Like, does it change the physical makeup of things?
Except for when you saw him as the big guy, he was slower,
Yeah.
but it didn't seem to make him weaker. Like he just flicked that car like it was nothing, and it got flung like it was nothing.
Yes, that's
So,
true. I don't know, right? Like, is the Pez candy, when you make it bigger, is it more like a marshmallow kind of? Is it softer? Maybe like a gummy candy. I'll give you jujubes. Maybe it's like it's still firm but kind of squishy.
So we'll use your known medium here. We'll use glass, the salt shaker. Mm-hmm. They blew the salt shaker up, and he ran into it. And boom! Like he ran into a freaking sliding door.
Yeah, that's true.
Not.
Which sucks, by the way. I know what it's like.
Running into a sliding door?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've done that. I've also ran into a screen and kept running in the yard with the screen in my hands. Because I totally blew the screen up there.
How
Really
excited
wanted
were
to go
you that
outside.
you actually kept running with it?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was kind of like, oh, no, and then it was there and I caught it and kept running. This is when I lived in Linwood, where we had a sliding door.
I see.
Yeah. I also full speed, full on ran into that sliding door.
Yeah, I hosted a Super Bowl party against my will, but being the gracious host, I made a dip and everything for it and stuff. And I come back and a bunch of people were partaking outside on the balcony.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, everybody, here, have some dip," and all this. Walk out there and somebody closed the sliding door behind me after they went outside. And I just turned right back around with that dip and everything, just boom, ended up all over me. It's gross, and
that is terrible.
I ended up sitting on my ass because I was just boom, and just no, it was full on. Yeah,
I think mine was popcorn.
Oh, okay.
Way easier to clean up and just kind of brush it off.
Yeah, no, I had to go take a shower.
No, I didn't have a shower. So do you think if you shrunk... I'm still hung up on this shrunking and making things
Shrunking,
bigger.
huh?
Yeah, when you shrunk things.
I think you need more Zima.
Yeah,
Right? Clearly.
We should finish the one you started first.
I'm going to take that little bit to Pound Town and then hit this one up. So let's say you have, gas in your car.
All right.
Right? And
Or
you
you
get
just
down,
have gas in general, because we all know that's...
well, I'm thinking about the movie, right? Yeah, I have gas. Watch out.
Literally.
Using every power I have to contain it in me
Yes,
right now,
thank you.
which is going to get so much worse when it comes out. Do you think let's say one of the cars in the movie, right?
Uh-huh.
Driving around and you're almost out of gas. Do you have to fill up gas, or could you just expand the gas that's in the tank? Just make the gas bigger.
I don't know. I think it's...
Could you
just drop
keep,
one of those discs
just
in there?
keep doing it? Yeah. Will one little droplet of gas forever run, because as long as you make it bigger before it runs out, it'll always just keep getting bigger exponentially? How does that work?
Or does it lose energy as it goes?
That's what I mean, right? I want to know that.
Well, I don't have the answer for this.
Could they take ground hamburger or something and make it bigger, and everybody gets burgers now?
Feed the world, huh?
Yeah. Could they do good things with their
Peter
technology?
would actually probably love that one.
Instead of just hoarding it, right? They're so selfish with it. I want to know these things. Could we just make Big Pez, and we can all snack on Big Pez?
Could we choose something better than Pez?
All right, whatever candy you want. Because we'll have plenty to share. It'll be the new fun size, gigantic.
Oh my god.
Super fun.
I went to game night last night with the family size peanut M&Ms.
Yeah.
There was only 4 of us there, and that thing's gone.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I think, is 4 the average family?
Yeah, but that's not one sitting. And I was not the one eating them all. I know it looks like I am.
I think peanut M&Ms are not something I'd want to eat the large size of.
No.
Like if you blew those up, like Ant-Man style,
Oh, just
that
be
wouldn't
like,
be any good. No, it'd just be like,
All shell.
oh, it'd be like an inch of shell,
Yeah.
right? More than that, probably. A foot of chocolate, and then like 3 feet of peanut on the inside. But we could feed a lot of people.
Yeah.
I bet if you threw a little touch of vibranium in there, you'd be able to do such crazy stuff with it. That's what they're missing. You need to
Vibranium M&Ms.
Yeah, dude. Right? You'd be able to fight crime. It'd be awesome. How's your crafting going, Kristen?
Great.
Isn't vibranium like the only metal that's
That can be made into anything?
no that's right below the adamantium?
I don't know. I don't know which ones.
I think the adamantium's stronger than the vibranium.
It might be. I was under the impression that adamantium was like man-made, and vibranium was a meteor. Where's Jack?
Yeah.
Jack, look it up. Now I want to know. Is adamantium a natural, like that, is it just
Yeah.
its own element, or is it like, I mean, we do that with metals now anyway, right?
Yeah, they've actually successfully created gold.
Really?
Yes. They've created laboratory. They've made laboratory created gold now.
I hope the laboratory's called Midas, right? It should be, or Dr. Midas, or something.
Project Midas.
Yeah, Project Midas.
But wasn't that the goal of alchemy?
Well, I think one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, was to make gold.
Yeah,
Right?
from lead.
And, yeah. Well, it's to make anything.
Well, yeah.
It's to make something from anything, basically, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure gold is the
Was the
great,
same, yeah.
whatever, motivator for all villainy and crime, right? So that's always what people want to make, is more gold.
Yeah.
Could you do that? Like if I had a little gold nugget and I threw Ant-Man power at it, could I go and now it's big?
Pim particles?
Yeah, but does it change? Maybe it changes the carat. Like, does it change the quality of the gold?
Well,
Like,
carrot's
is it
the weight.
softer? Is it less dense? Like, it changes it, dude. You can't just make it bigger. I want to know.
Huh? I don't know.
And feed the world, dude. And I want some, like, a little eyedropper of fuel that will last my lifetime. Because I think they could do that too.
With the amount of mileage you put on your vehicle, it'll last you a lifetime.
That's basically
anyway.
what I have now. It's an eyedropper. I want to know what happens if you make something big and then eat it. I'm curious now. Just think about when it comes out the other end. You could shrink it, and then now we don't have waste everywhere either, right? Garbage. We eliminate garbage in the world. We shrink
Well, it
it
wouldn't
down.
eliminate it. It'd just be small.
Yeah, well, that
Well,
we
just
could-
let's send it to the quantum realm.
yeah, right. They got so much crap in there anyway. We just add some more crap to it. That
Wow.
would be such the human mentality.
Yeah.
Look at this big. Oh, it's endless realms. We can throw all our garbage there.
Well, isn't that the idea
We'll
behind
shrink it first, but we're gonna throw it there.
Isn't that the idea behind the Grandmaster and his realm where Thor Ragnarok takes place?
Oh yeah, it is the junk planet, right? It's
Yeah.
where all the junk goes. Yeah. I want to know what you can shrink and what you can't shrink. I'm really curious about this. And I want to know what happens to it. It can't be the same.
No.
No, just not if it's the same molecules. Is it making more molecules, or is it just stretching them? It's blowing them up also? That's got to change the structure of things,
Yeah. Say Puff Marshmallow Man.
right? Like, you'd think if you... Like, we can only observe things so small. But if you had a molecule and you blew it up a gazillion times, you'd be able to see, like, what makes up the... You got like, now, that's quantum realm crap. You got to be able to see what is in their molecule, right? There's got to be other ones in there or something. Something happens.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to know. I thought all these things on the way home, for sure. I needed to get gas, and I thought if I was Ant-Man, I could probably crawl through the tube.
How
make it
adjusted
bigger.
were you when you were thinking all this?
I don't think I was. I didn't. No, not before the movie. We did have some beers.
One beer.
One beer.
One beer.
Well, we had a beer, and then I had another beer, and then we went to the movie, and we stopped and ate, and I had another beer there.
Okay.
So I guess a little adjusted.
Yeah, but it was after the movie that you were thinking all that. Which we were already like 2 hours early for.
Which is why we got adjusted.
Well, no, that was like 3 hours early for.
I think for all of the, because I definitely felt like the conflicts in it were a little forced too. For as much as that, it felt that way, and I really felt like Ghost was underutilized in the movie.
Yes.
Like she was such a potentially awesome character. Her phasing ability was super cool. It looked cool in the fight scenes and everything, but she's basically just eye candy, right? Like there wasn't any substance to her, and I felt like there were a lot of parts in the movie that were that way. Even what's his face, Morpheus, right?
Morpheus.
Even him in it is like it felt so just kind of slammed in there. You didn't really get to know him real well at any point. He made that drastic change to I hate Hank to suddenly now he's not that bad of a guy and we'll kind of work together. Like all that transitioned so quickly and harshly with everybody. For as many of those things that were in the movie, it really did roll along like really nicely.
Pretty decently.
Like I really never hit a point where I was ready for something else to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe really, really minutely that I got that way, but I never hit this point where I was bored and waiting for the next scene to happen.
So how soon before you think his daughter's the Wasp?
Who's the little girl? No.
You know she's going to steal the suit. He's been teaching her to steal for how long now?
Yeah.
2 years.
Yes.
Training her on it.
Uh-huh.
And she's been talking about how he needs a partner and blah, blah, blah. And then she's all... You saw how hurt she was when it wasn't her.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. You think that she'll put on the Wasp suit and go get him out of the quantum realm?
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Maybe that's what it'll be.
She's still a little young.
Yeah, a little bit. Start him young.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. That's pretty cool, though, the opening scene. I really liked that. With him and his daughter in the cardboard...
Oh, yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, really, like, I thought all of that stuff was really pretty tastefully done. It clearly felt like this sort of filler movie to kind of go between, our massive events and everything.
I think that's a really good way of putting it. That was my biggest complaint about the movie right there. It just kind of felt like filler.
Yeah, it did. It just kind of did, like, appease the fans.
It was a Bulma episode.
Sort of, yeah. With some, but still with some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
I did think it had some pretty cool elements to it, but yes, right?
Yeah.
I'm still hung up on making things bigger and smaller.
Of course you are.
Right? Like, I would think, okay, you can take a Matchbox car, hurl it across the room, and pick it up, and nothing will happen to it, right? Because the walls of it are pretty thick, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because if you were to blow that up really big, the walls on a Matchbox car, I mean, how thick would they be? A few inches?
Yeah.
Right? So if that's the case, and they're in their little thing, like, wouldn't the car weigh 1 million pounds when you blew it up bigger? Like,
Probably.
That's what I mean by, like, that part of things would have to change. Like, even the plastic on the Pez dispenser. Like, now suddenly it went from this really thin, lightweight plastic to inches thick, and it just is, I don't know. I don't think it would be that easy. I'm not buying it. I think more
What's
things
the power
would happen.
today?
The lights is from the air conditioner.
Oh, okay.
Right? Every time it kicks on.
Yeah.
It's because it's keeping the house cool. It's nice. I could turn it off. You want me to turn it off?
No, it's just, it keeps kicking. I'm like, oh, crap. Keep worrying we're going to lose everything all of a sudden. What the hell?
No power. Just think, you could make the air conditioner huge, too.
You could.
Keep the world
10,000 BTU instantly turn. Actually, heat the world up.
Yeah, the outside.
Yeah.
Right? The
outside
outside, one side it'd be really cold.
I actually, interestingly enough, I think there was this was years ago, I was reading it, but there was an article talking about the prolific use of those micro air conditioning units. You see the micro heat pumps?
Yeah.
They're actually talking about it, that it's raising the temperature in the city because so many places are using them.
Oh, really? Because it's venting heat that much?
Yes, all the interior heat's getting put to the outside, and the outside it's concentrating in the city outside.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, and that's what they're attributing it to is the mass prolific use of the micro air conditioning units.
I saw this thing on TV where they're making roads not blacktop,
Yeah.
They're making them white. They're
They're making
painting
them
them
white
white.
now. It was some city or something. It was like a test thing they're doing somewhere, and it took the temperature of the whole city down by like 20 degrees.
20
It was
degrees?
something insane. Was
Yeah,
it
it was
20
something- it was
degrees?
like 15
Maybe it
or
wasn't
20
20,
degrees.
15, maybe.
That's still huge.
Yeah, no, it
5
was
degrees.
huge. It was
5
huge.
degrees is huge.
Yeah,
There was a noticeable amount.
yeah. The first thing I thought when I saw this was, that is gnarly glare. Right?
Yeah.
Like, how bad? Just constantly, like, it's pretty cold, but I can't see.
Solar freaking roadways.
Right? Yeah. I saw something about that on TV, too, where they did have solar things on the road that would power the... I don't remember that. That was somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were these octagon things they made that were... And they could put them all together and make roads with them. And it would power the city.
Yeah, it's a theory. They're still in testing with it.
Yeah, I saw... They had a stretch of road or something. It was on PBS or something I saw.
Yeah, it's not...
Just think if you could make that big.
From what I've heard, though, is that the projected outputs that they were selling with it are not anywhere close to what it was supposed to be.
Well, it's like the wind turbines that they have on certain roadways to pick up the breezes from the cars.
Yeah, they put them in the
power.
underpasses and stuff. Yep.
I think the problem with this, with a mass technology...
They actually did that as a test in Seattle. And they produced power, it just wasn't nearly as much as they expected.
Yeah. Well, I would think anything where it's like, where you're doing this massive technological overhaul, like it's just going to be outdated in like a year, right? Like suddenly now you can massively overhaul that again and get twice the power out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be a tricky thing to do.
Yeah.
If you guys, okay, babe, if you could shrink something, what would it be? If you can shrink something, whatever you want, what would be the first thing you'd shrink?
Can you undo it? That's the question. Or is it once you shrink it, it's shrunk forever?
Okay, yeah, you can shrink it and make it big. You have something that you can either shrink and make big.
So it's something that you can essentially take with you whenever you want.
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know? I thought you were going to say my ego.
Well, yeah, that definitely. That's funny.
My farts? Would you shrink my farts? Shrink them to the quantum realm. We are ruining the quantum realm. I am, right?
You
All
are.
the garbage
You
and farts.
have ruined the quantum realm.
I think only one of those would ruin the quantum realm.
It's not the garbage.
You can't think of anything you'd shrink, babe?
I don't know. I don't know what I'd shrink. What would you shrink?
What would I shrink? If I could shrink anything. I guess it is a tough question.
I would shrink all my luggage so everything would be carry-on.
You think so? Just like
Pocket size?
right in your pocket.
Exactly.
So maybe like a suitcase or some sort of a carrying thing.
Just all my luggage, shrink it down to nothing, put it in my pocket.
How often do you
Now I'm back
travel
to the
where that's like a benefit?
Yeah, I thought that
No,
too.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, whenever you travel, that's big band the one thing, because, like, I want to travel with all my scuba gear, and I want to take everything.
I like the idea of like the Mary Poppins bag that also shrinks, right? So you can have it like in your little lighter pocket or whatever. But if I could just fill it full of stuff and shrink it down, I just think the idea of a bag that you could do that with, that might be super cool.
Well, yeah. It works.
Mary
You would,
Poppins bag.
yeah, it would be available anytime.
Yeah, like I could even put it on its side, make it big again, drive my car in it, and shrink it down,
There you go.
right? That would be beyond handy. I kind of like this idea.
You like the Matchbox case.
Yeah,
Pull the car out and...
yeah. I'm kind of liking that idea. That's a good one.
Way to go, Jay.
Yeah.
Way to think. Of course, Marcus takes it to the next level, but...
Yeah.
I also think my little eyedropper of gas would be a nice thing to have in there for my car.
Yeah, just as soon as it drops out, it...
Yeah, like maybe it's just the bag that I make it big and drive my car out, and then maybe you have to make it bigger than that even to get the eyedropper out. So it's like now you're lugging this big thing, and you just go
Here's the...
bloop, right? Bloop, full take. I bet you get really crappy gas mileage on expanded gas,
Probably.
right? I don't know. I'm gonna figure this out.
Speaking of that, though, I put low grade on my car. Hates it.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's because it's a pretentious Mercedes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Runs like ass. 87. So back to the 91.
So you couldn't blow your gas up at all.
No.
you would have to take regular gas and shrink it and then put it in your car.
Oh my god, that'd be so expensive.
Right?
I'll just do the new one.
Yeah, I'll just go up to the premium. It's fine. That'd be cheaper because now you're also wasting tech on it, right?
Yeah,
Whatever
exactly.
the little disc things are.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. Do you think that's what she was shooting? Was the little discs out of her blaster?
So, that's another thing too. So she put that one disc in her hair
Yeah.
and took it with her. She never reused it. I was like, that was like the one thing. It was like she put it in her hair to take with her, and that's
I
all.
never noticed her put it in her hair.
Yeah, she put one up in her when she tied it up in her hair up in her bun before she put the helmet on and stuff. And she got stuck in this. What was it? She got stuck. And I was like, "All right, she's going to use that." And that's going to.
Maybe that was the one that she had in the police station.
It
Because
is.
she was going to shrink the wall.
That's
Remember?
right. That is the one she had in the police station.
I bet that's what it was.
Yep. Okay.
They did bring it back up.
Yep.
They just didn't use it.
The pencil broke,
Oh man.
Damn it.
and I kind of fixed it, but only kind of.
Would you recommend... so would you recommend for people to go see Ant-Man Wasp? Like,
I
yeah,
already
you should totally
said
go see
that.
it.
I
Yes.
said that at the beginning.
Then what type of score would you put on it, babe?
6.95.
6.95.
Okay.
It's not quite a 7.
It's almost good. You just said it was good, though. 7's good.
Fine, 7.
You give it a full 7?
I guess you won't let me give it a 6.95. So...
Give it whatever you want. That's
No,
fine.
it's
Give
fine.
it
It's a 7. It's good.
Okay, Kristen's got a 7. Marcus.
I'm gonna give it a 7. Just 7. I think I agree. I think it's a 7. It's good.
I'm going 6.5.
Wow, not quite good.
But it's okay.
Just
It's-
better than okay.
Yeah.
See?
Is it the filler?
He's allowed to
element
give
of it
it.
that you kind of did I ruin it for you?
No.
No, you'd already kind of thought that.
Yeah. It never had the feel that I was really looking for out of it.
Yeah, it definitely felt kind of fillerish.
Yeah.
There weren't any real moments in it where there was this like massive character growth or anything, right?
Yeah.
Like even his suit was all janky. It's not like if his suit just works in the next one, it's already better than any of the other two.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And to be fair, we did just come off of 4 movies that were pretty stellar.
And they are.
We had the Solo, Deadpool,
Yeah.
Infinity War,
Black Panther.
was it Black Panther? Yeah.
That was the other one we got this year, yeah.
Yeah, Black
I like
Panther.
this. Man, I guess that's a tough call.
I
Was it better or worse than Black Panther?
liked Black Panther a little better.
Yeah. We gave Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, when we did our MC list, we gave it the 9th spot of the first.
I liked the first Ant-Man. I liked the first Ant-Man a lot.
Yes, definitely better than this one. And I think part of that is because there was actual real character growth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, it mattered in that
And
one.
you didn't hate the Pims quite as much.
I didn't hate them as much. It made more sense in that one that they were more kind of jaded. It was more personal to them, right? And
Yeah.
I get that it was their mom and his wife and whatever, and that's totally personal to them. But they just crapped on everybody else's world so like
Yeah.
nonchalantly in this movie that by the end I was really just kind of irritated with them.
Wow, you're just not good people.
Yeah, they weren't at all. They were just terrible people. Yeah, that was one of my biggest complaints about
Yeah.
it. And he's still infatuated with her. She's gonna wreck his life, man. I can't wait for his ex-wife, to meet Hope.
Which is
She's gonna hate her.
which is totally a real world thing that happens
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. There they go again, right?
Yep.
Just too relatable.
Yep.
All right. Well, now we're going to talk about Zima. And remember your movie scores. Was Zima better than the movie? I think, babe, ladies first. You still got a whole bottle of Zima.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't drink a lot, so I might save that one for a rainy day.
What do you give your Zima?
Is this like just for it being Zima? and like what we're drinking right this minute, or like the nostalgia factor? Like, does that get
I
to
think
play
it all gets
a part
factored in.
my score?
Do you have
And the fact-
Do you
and the
have
fact
Zima
Your
nostalgia?
first Zima was
That
at
this-
the Bryants.
Probably, yes. That
4th
this
of
is...
July. Fireworks on the roof.
Yes,
And she
I-
had
At
a Zima?
Bryant. Coming out, you can't do that. They're burning the roof down. Oh, he was all sorts of pissed.
yeah.
And you were drinking Zima.
And
Yes,
it's what
that was
Luke and Lorelai toast their engagement with. It's a case of Zima.
Luke and Lorelai?
Yeah.
Gilmore
Really?
Girls.
Which is so 90s.
I mean,
And
That's beyond 90s
so
all day.
I mean, I have to say that Zima's like at least a 7.5 or an 8 because
Better than
mean-
you have way more. You're gonna have way more fond memories of Zima, and we've
I
we've
already
just now
have
added to it
more fond
than
memories
you will
of
ever have from this Ant-Man Wasp movie. So it clearly gets a higher score,
Zima.
right?
Like the commercials. Didn't they used to do that?
Yeah, I don't remember. It was such a weird gimmicky thing.
yeah.
Man, in a way, it's better than I thought it would be.
When it was cold, like if it stayed
I
cold.
really thought I was gonna drink this, and it was gonna be like drier than it is. Like this, it's almost thirst quenching, right? Like if it was a really hot day and you had really cold Zima, you could drink one and it would quench your thirst.
It'd be
right?
like drinking like a Sprite, or not a Sprite, like a Squirt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
they're
like
kind of
that.
the same thing. 7-Up, Sprite, Squirt,
Yeah, I guess Squirt's a little more citrusy,
more so.
I think.
I'm still sticking with the
That
tonic water
might
thing.
be personal preference, with alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Would you
Clearly.
rather have tonic water with like vodka in it?
Gin,
would that be
with
more appealing?
gin in
Yeah.
it.
It's a gin and tonic.
Yeah. Man,
Well, I'm telling you,
I'm gonna give it a 6 because I really thought we were gonna open this up,
Oh.
and I thought this is just gonna be maybe a turd or turdish, something right around in there. But I'm actually pleasantly surprised, and I think if it was a hot day, it's better than okay. You could
Alright.
drink worse things on a hot day than a Zima, for sure,
All right.
like chocolate milk or something.
I think I'm doing 9.5. I mean, 5.9.
5.9,
9.5, huh?
9.5. Loved it. You're gonna be drinking Zima until the next Marvel movie.
It was,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
was almost unicorn-tastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
5.9.
5.9.
Yep.
Okay. So Kristen liked it the most. This was the best
It
part of the
makes
show for
sense.
you was the Zima.
It's definitely tailored to women.
Did you get? Yeah, right. Totally.
And I like that you could put it in a water bottle if you go to a concert or something.
Nice. I like that.
And,
That's the weird thing. It's totally
No
true.
one would stop
It's not
you.
even fizzy enough to where like it leaves bubbles or anything. That's
No.
a solid idea. I agree with you. I mean, you could do the same thing with just straight vodka.
Yeah,
if
no,
you
it's
wanted.
not.
No, it's not really fizzy enough at all.
But it is when you drink it.
Yeah. There you go. You got a little bit of fizz.
Yeah.
But again, it could just be tonic water,
Yeah.
right? Does it? We didn't even smell it.
Well, you know, it's Zima.
It's very wine-like.
Yeah.
It's very kind of wine cooler. What was your? Did you get a bunch of crafting done?
I did some tracing, but I would do it differently on my
No,
next
it's
one.
you add depth and shading.
You're making flowers. You said,
Yes, large, giant flowers.
which seems appropriate. Very appropriate for Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
giant flowers.
And what are they for?
They're for decor
I see.
Like personal decor. We're gonna have giant flowers in our
all
house.
over the house.
You
no.
are so in love with Ant-Man that you want to make the
I
world
wanna
seem
make the
really
world
big
seem
and
real
make
big,
you
like-
seem teeny.
Yeah, I'll put them all around this green that's around me.
The nerd room is gonna be decorated.
So
by you
all
from
they'll
now
see
on.
is just flowers and then just chaos with your wall of
Chaos.
chaos.
Which is kind of true. For somebody who's like can't handle chaos, you do have quite a chaotic wall.
It is very true. Yes, it's true. I mean, yeah, it's true. I don't have any rebuttal for that. It's very chaotic. You are totally right. Which is
It's like
not
jazz
so much me.
music.
Oh my god.
Chaos.
No, it's
Oh
like
my god, I hate jazz. Well, okay. Jazz can be done well,
Contemporary jazz?
but when everybody just doing their own thing and everybody says that's great music. No, it's not.
okay, smooth jazz,
There you go.
garbage. Smooth jazz is the old man's techno. It's the same beat over and over and over. and I swear to God, they're not real drums. If they are a guy playing drums, they're like on electric drums. Because they do not sound real. And it's way... maybe the guy's that good and talented to be able to do that same 3-beat over and over and over.
Yeah.
But I think it's not real. I keep telling my dad, I think you might like techno. Because he really likes smooth jazz. The other thing I don't like about smooth jazz is they refuse to make their own songs. They just cover everybody else's song and then ruin
really
that song
badly.
for you. Every time I hear it, I keep thinking, just play the real song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I.
So they listen to XM radio at the shop, and sometimes his dad picks the smooth jazz station.
Yeah, and it's crappy. I don't like it.
For like a week straight, I get to hear about it.
Yeah. It's
How was
no
work
good.
today? Oh, we listened to smooth jazz. Oh, okay. So it's been a good day.
Yeah, right?
For his dad.
Right?
It's terrible.
It's
I
not,
feel the
though.
exact same way about
Because
techno
his dad
music
has
as
to
I do
listen to
smooth jazz.
him complain about it, so I don't
Well,
really
so why would you
understand.
buy a techno song? Just get the 30-second intro and just loop it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, so basically play the techno song.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Intro, outro. Did it transition? I can't really tell. It's the same beat through the whole thing. That the intro to outro is when it drops and then comes back.
Yeah.
That's the midpoint of the song. It's the same thing, but yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's great. All right, Jeremiah will techno us out as we
We're not
toast
gonna
to the
toast
nerds. Go see Ant-Man. It's good.
Yes,
it's
it
worth
is.
seeing. Go check it out. You're gonna see it if you're a Marvel fan
It is
anyway.
better
That's
than
what Marvel's
okay.
It's
done
better
to
than Zima.
everybody. Yes.
hey,
Not better than Nostalgia, but better than Zima.
I love
There you
that
go.
even just stumbling across Zima in the store goes along with your Zima nostalgic
Oh,
memories, right?
yeah.
But that will
I
forever
had
be
to
associated with
Snapchat
Ant-Man.
the crap out of it.
Yeah, she did right away. So I don't blame you at all for loving Zima more. Okay, to all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
Oh.
bottoms up.
Let's get
nerd
nerd
buzzed. But we just did.
Talking about beer, talking about nerd culture. You're on Nerdbuzzed. Marcus and Jeremiah. You're on Nerdbuzzed. Let's get Nerdbuzzed.